Hello, Dad. This is Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast, and today's topic is this: so much talk about poop. Let's do it.
Hi, my name's Nico, and you're listening to my dad, Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast. Thanks for listening.
Yep. So this episode's especially for the new dads, but if you are not so much of a new dad and you've been through the infant baby diaper phase, the analogy still holds true in that, or if you are not yet a dad, I'm going to say this: you have no idea how much talking you'll do about poop. About your baby's poop, how often they went, when they went, what it looked like, what it didn't look like, how much there was, how little there was. It's a weird, no, it's not weird. It seems weird, but it's an important part of understanding like how your baby's functioning. And at the same time, you're like, oh my God, like, do we really have to debrief at the end of the day about like the pooping schedule? Now, if your kid's constipated, there's a problem there. Of course, you're going to be talking about it. And sometimes the poop is a way of knowing like if their body is doing what it's supposed to be, if it's healthy, of course, all of those things. But I'm talking about just in a bigger sense, like there's so much talk about poop and other things that you never thought you were going to be talking so much about as a parent that's coming your way if you're not yet a dad. That's a big part of your life right now if you have a newborn or an infant. And hopefully you resonate with this, that it is a little mind-boggling, like why you're talking about it so much. But then it carries on later in life. So one, just I say that out loud so you know it's coming, or you know that other dads have been through it and can somewhat roll their eyes about how much you talk about it. But I use this as an example, kind of talking about like as your kid's growing up and being involved with them and knowing everything about them and potentially being able to let go or not let go. Because as an infant, they can't tell you anything about themselves, like what's going on. And that's part of the difficulty of being a new parent is like they're crying and they're fussy and they're whining, but you have no idea why. So you have this checklist of are they hungry? Are they hot? Are they cold? Are they tired? Do they have a dirty diaper? What is it? You know, you're going through this whole checklist of things. And over time, you get to know your kid, and you know the different cries, you know the timing and all this kind of stuff. And you know, like, oh, baby's hungry. Boom, let's get him some food. Oh, nap time. Let's get some kiddos some sleep. Those kind of things. But like with the poop, it's, as I just said, it's an indicator of their health. Are they processing things properly? Are they getting sick? Does it smell crazy weird? Does it look a different color? All those kind of things. Like as an infant, you have all these things that you're monitoring and you know. And then as they grow up, you're still monitoring that way. But there's a tendency for you to always ever want to know every single thing about your kid. And as they grow up later, and you know, I'm only just starting this with Nico because he's 5 and he's in school. Like I don't know every single thing that happens to him when he's at school. And if I ask him, he said, oh, we played today. You know, like he doesn't tell me about every single thing and every interaction, you know. And this is all part of the starting of he's having his own life. He's having his own experiences. I want to make sure our communication lines are open. So if something comes up that he wants to talk about, either in a positive sense because he wants to share, and I hope he wants to share with me, or if something's challenging him or it's concerning him and he wants my help, I hope he comes to me with those kind of things. But I see this in parents, and honestly, I see it more in the moms than I do in the dads, but dads can do it too. And dads, you might be married to one of the moms that is doing this, in that as an infant, because you're and for those first months and even in the first year, like, you know every single thing about your kid. You know exactly what they ate. You know exactly how much they ate, whether they spit it up or they kept it down. You know what their poop looked like after they ate that food. You know how long they slept. You know how little they slept. You know that they fell and hit their head. You know everything about it. But then, as I just said, like, they get older, you don't know as much, and it can be hard to let that go. It can be hard to trust others taking care of your kids. It can be hard to just not know everything about your kid. I mean, there's definitely things with Nico, like, I would love to have a nanny cam on him at school and just watch him play and watch him how he's learning and how he's interacting with the other kids and with the other teachers and things like that. I think that would be fun because I just love my kid and I want to know everything about him. But at the same time, I understand he's starting to have his own life. And yes, he's only turning 5 in a little bit, like, it's not that he's, has his own circle of friends and I'm prying if I'm trying to figure out like what he's doing after school and all that kind of stuff. But it starts with, I see it starting with the poop conversation, and that as a parent of a newborn, like, all about that. And I remember, kind of the debrief of like grandma was watching Nico for the morning or something. We get like, he ate this much and he pooped and he didn't do this and he didn't do that. It's like the whole like trade-off, like you got that report. And you can easily get locked into that later on down the line. And I'm not saying you should just let go, of course. But I definitely think the micromanaging and knowing every single thing is, 1, impossible, so it's a waste of your time and energy. 2, it has the potential of prying into your kiddo's life and in their privacy, that they just feel overwhelmed and feel that they just want to keep secrets from you because you're always asking. And so they might be more distant and more private and tell you less and less because they're feeling like they're always been bombarded by questions. So I say that to you. So 1, again, I see it more in women than I do in men. But if that is something that you're seeing, that by wanting to be involved and wanting to ask questions and wanting to know everything because you're excited and you love your kids so much, it can be overwhelming for them and could be a block in your relationship. Or if you see your spouse doing it and seeing that your kid's reacting in that kind of way, it might be worth a conversation with your spouse to maybe change that around. And that can be a tough conversation because, the moms are like, well, it's my baby and I want to know everything and I need to know everything because I'm in charge, all this kind of stuff, which it's true to some extent, but not as true as they get older. And so it can be the first step in allowing the parent, whether it's the mom or the dad, to start letting go and allowing them to have their own life and to guide and support rather than direct and control their lives as beings in this life. So if you see the tendencies in yourself or in your spouse and you see it starting to have like a negative consequence as far as the bond that you have with your kiddo, then food for thought. Think about it. Think how letting up might be a way of and letting go might be a way of bringing your kid closer because they feel like you trust them more and are allowing them to have their own life rather than being, always hovered around and pestered is the feeling they have, even though you're just interested in loving them. So food for thought. Think about that, Dad. Until the next time, I want you to take really, 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 really good care of yourself and take really, really, really good care of your families. And we'll connect on the next episode.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. You can hang out with other dads in our Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for the Dadhood Journey, and apply to get in. See you there, and see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Perfect.
There you go, Dan.